Hi everyone, welcome to our Haverhill Town Council meeting of the Tuesday the 22nd of October 2024. I'll just read out my recordings in meetings scripts. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by the Town Council and where possible live streamed on YouTube. Please note the recording device is sensitive and the live stream may be recorded by third parties. So do not say anything you do not want recorded. If necessary, I will direct all recording in the room and the live stream to be stopped, but generally I want to avoid doing that, so we will normally record everything except any item taken in closed session. Members of the public may also make their own recordings but must follow our rules for doing so, including stopping recording when requested. Whilst we do not accept anonymous speaking at the public forum, members of the public who wish to speak but do not want their name published must please indicate this before saying your piece. Thank you. Apologies for an absence. I understand we've got Councillor Pat Hanlon, Councillor David Smith and Councillor Quinn Cox. Declarations of interest and requests for dispensations. Do we have any disclosable pecuniary interests, other registrable interests or non-registrable interests?
Non-registrable interests, list B number 3, since I'm over the neighbouring property.
So what's Councillor Lickerin's intention?
I'll leave, yeah.
To approve minutes of the meeting held 7th October 2024. Mayor proposer, seconder please. Roger. Show of hands please. It's carried. Page 119. Page 120. Page 121. Page 122. Members of the public to speak on planning matters other than the applications before the committee. None. 6. To consider planning applications to West Suffolk Council. We've got list A approved by Chairman Clark under delegated powers. List B, which we have here, which is attached to the agenda, which is Item 1, which is DC/24/1452/RM. Reserved matters application A. Submission of details under DC/15/2151/OUT for access, appearance, landscaping, layout and scale of the local community centre, Class F2B, within parcel D1 pursuant to outline permission DC/15/2151/OUT, comprising community space which will also provide cafe, office, retail and nursery space, Class E, with associated internal roads, car and cycle parking, mobility hub, landscaping, play space, public open space and servicing, including detail reserved by conditions 4, 6, 9, 10, 28, 31, 37, 38 and 44 of DC/15/2151 OUT, and that's the Pelly Settlement Trust, and It's located at Zone B1, land north-east of Haverhill, Willsey Road, Little Ratting. Any comments at all? John?
Right, well I've been involved with this for 20 odd years, the whole site, and I was really pleased when we were doing the master plan for this site and even the outline plan commission back in, I'm going to say 2016-17, that the local centres, the schools and everything else were kept away from the developers. Yeah. We didn't know who the developers were at that time. It was going to be all handled by Mrs. Pelly and now what is known as the Pelly Trust, who the land I believe has been transferred to and they manage it. Back in April I went to the consultation on this, and at that time it had a convenience store and a community centre, nursery and much of what's there now, space for NHS and various other things. Unfortunately, as we all know, the Fox Public House caused big problems for them because they were all ready to go to application, and then that came up and said we're going to build a convenience store about 200 yards from their own store. So what they've done on this one, as I can see, is they've withdrawn the convenience store side of things, and you'll see it still says potential for future retail, and brought back in everything else. It's a double, two-storey building, right in the virtually the centre of the existing development, the 900 houses. There's a couple of things that I would comment on. I like this design. I think it looks really nice. It's got loads of parking, 70 odd spaces if I remember rightly, something like that. A whole community centre, a community cafe, everything else. They did say to me in April that there was no way that they were going to allow any takeaways or anything like that on it, which I thought was very nice, because it should be a local centre. It shouldn't be just a food outlet for the rest of the town. So the retail, now the retail side of things, if you read the planning statement, I'm a little bit concerned about that one, because they're now saying, and I think they've been advised this perhaps by the planners, is nothing should be built until 1,000 homes have been occupied. Well, there's only 900 in the current thing, so that means it won't be built for another 15 to 20 years, which I don't think is acceptable to the locals. So I think they should be encouraged to continue that, ignore any planning things. That was never in the original master plan. It was certainly never in the outline application either, that we were going to have to wait that long for that. The other thing is the NHS side of things, the healthcare. As you will see in the document that they've submitted, basically the NHS have said, no, we're not going to do it. So there's going to be no healthcare provision on that site, where we fought hard 8 years ago, whatever it was, for healthcare provision to be on the site of some form. I'm not talking about doctors or anything like that. But what they've did say to me is, if they fail to take that land up, they will make sure that at least part of the existing, or this planned building, can be used for healthcare. So whether it's just simple things like vaccinations or anything else, because their view is it should be on site, even if it's just temporary. The other thing is, I do like, is the concept that they've included, which, if some of us remember this, and Mrs. Pelly has been saying this for 20 years as well, again, is that she always liked the concept of people working from or near their homes. So they've actually included that sort of concept there as well. There is a nursery plan there. And at some point, there will be a school, or there's going to be 2 primary schools in the area. I think it looks really nice. obviously until it's built, you don't know where, and you don't know who's going to be running these things as well. But generally, I think it's another community facility that can be used for meetings and everything else that goes on up there. And one thing, we've spoken about on the other side, northwest, about residents associations and things like that, people being able to meet in a secure, dry place and everything. So I do like it, but I would like, if possible, the committee to think about commenting on the lack of the retail and the lack of the healthcare as well, which we probably can't do anything about. But what worries me is quite a lot of money that is the substitute for the building. I think it was something like £600,000, something like that. Will go to the NHS, and there's no guarantee it will be spent in this town. So, thank you.
Anyone else got any comments?
Yeah, I really like the site. I think it's a good plan. The only thing I'm just really annoyed about is the fact that there isn't any retail included in this.
Yeah.
We had strong objections on the Asda development about the viability of this site. For them then not to include it, this is just going to end up another Hampshire Village situation where a massive housing estate's built, they were promised a store, and it took 20 odd years for it to actually happen.
Yeah.
Same thing's going to happen again.
Yeah.
So why are the developers objected to Asda when they probably knew full well that they weren't going to include it in these plans? It's just wrong.
Yeah.
Well, they were in the plans I distributed to councillors in April.
Yeah, but but Asda was refused a long time ago now.
Yeah.
So they could have included it.
If I think one of the things I suspect, and I haven't spoken to them, but one of the things I suspect is they're waiting to see whether the Fox comes to appeal or not.
Silly thing to do, because they're far better getting planning permission for this, and then sequentially they've got planning permission.
They've actually ruined their planning argument.
But I don't know what they've been told by the planners.
No.
That thing about the 1,000 houses hasn't come from them. I'm sure that has come from planners to say, no, but the planners are not thinking about the fact they've only 900 houses approved. They haven't, Mrs. Pelly wasn't intending to sell the land for another 2-3 years.
No. So, Councillor Gray.
Whilst I should share my fellow councillors' concerns about the things that aren't there, let's be grateful for what is there. I can see perfectly good reasons for not plotting out the other areas. Let's get this agreed and get this underway, and then start pursuing the others. We're not turning down the retail or the healthcare. I'm agreeing for this or accepting this, but we can be getting on with it.
I agree with you, Roger, that this bit should continue and be done, but that doesn't mean we should still make sure we highlight the fact that we want that retail to happen, because otherwise we'll miss an opportunity, and 10 years down the line we'll be looking back on meetings like this and saying, why didn't they say anything?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
And I propose no objection, but we do note that we want some provision made for the retail and healthcare facilities.
So propose neutral with the comments that have been submitted around lack of NHS facilities and lack of retail. I mean, to be fair, this type of thing always, my son lives near the Walton Hall shopping centre over around Bury, and I always think that's quite an exemplar place. It's got all the stuff there, it's got some health there, it's got everything that you want, it's well laid out. So you've got neutral. Can we have a seconder, sorry, Aaron, show of hands please. It's carried. Thank you. Item 2, which is DC/24/1457/HH, which is a detached single-storey annex Mr. Sanal Kumar Ramakardan, and it's 28 Mount Road. Get a chance to, there's a block plan, I think, that shows it best. Yeah. So basically it's a granny annex, supposed granny annex, right at the bottom of the garden, number 28 Mount Road. Is there any Councillor Drew?
I have a few concerns about this. One is the traffic, parking, because there are plenty of spaces on Mount Road.
Yeah.
They're already too few for the houses that are there. This will provide another potential car
Yeah.
with no space to park.
Yeah.
I'm also concerned about the access. The access appears to only be through the front house itself.
Yeah.
There isn't a rear access to these premises,
No.
and it's not proposed in the plans. So I'm concerned about the access and evacuation in case required, given that it's likely to be somebody elderly and infirm and has to evacuate.
I understand reading from the documents or from the neighbours that it's actually that 28 is actually an HMO. So they're saying the actual
It's
owner,
not licensed as an HMO.
but
That may be because there's fewer than 5
Fewer,
people.
yeah. So they're saying it's a granny annex, and the actual owner lives, I think, somewhere maybe up in Northamptonshire or something like that. Coventry, yeah.
Corbyn.
Yeah, that,
That's
yeah. From what I understand,
Somewhere like
yeah,
that.
he doesn't live, or they don't live in the town. So it worries me that it potentially is squeezing more people into the property. And yes, there are major parking issues in Mount Road with those residence permits. They can only get 2. I go down there quite often. It's absolutely chock-a-block.
I'm very much against this.
Yeah.
I think it's the wrong place
Yeah.
completely. I've read the neighbours' objections and what
Yes.
they've said about it. The fact that it's a HMO already,
Yeah,
what's to stop somebody using that as an extension to the HMO?
yeah.
And the fact that it's a detached building, would that be liable for council? Would that be liable for council tax as well, as a detached building?
No.
I think it could be.
John?
I don't know. It's
yeah.
just a sign.
If it's
But,
classified as an annex to the house, then it comes within the council tax for that building.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it, even though it's not attached.
Yeah, not normally. If the plan
Yeah.
commission gives it that thing, but I think what you just said about the comments on here, that's true.
Yeah.
Although it's not a bit. I mean, in West Suffolk, the registration of HMOs is extremely high. I think it has to be 5 separate
Yeah.
families in a house, something like that.
Five
People,
Five-
not 5 separate
people.
families.
So,
Yeah.
but more than 2 stories or something stupid like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the figures are.
They're very lax. We have asked for them to be tightened up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Suffolk.
And I don't know how often those properties are in the HMOs are actually inspected.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what I have heard and been talking to people who live on the Chokeston in very close proximity to a HMO, and they've lived in their house for, 40 years, and it has been the bane of their life. They've had terrible trouble. They were in their garden. One is 83 and the other is 80. And the house next door is a HMO, and they were sitting in their garden, and a television came flying through a bedroom window. So there are huge problems with them. And to me, in some ways, we got away from tenement living.
Yeah.
And
Going back.
this is almost, in my mind, taking us back
Yeah.
with those HMOs. I have a real think about it.
There's 2 of us. Well, I should think there's more than 2 of us here, actually, to be fair. Yeah. They are good when they're maintained properly and they're used for the right purpose and inspected, really. And that's one of the things that we've tried to do at West Suffolk with the new administration is basically get on top of it. So getting back to this, anyone else with any jump?
My only thought, and it's difficult to tell from the plan, is it wheelchair friendly? I mean, the doorway looks a little bit.
There'll never be a granny.
It may be okay, but It's difficult to tell because the scale, I think, is quite way below the. What do you reckon?
Might be a bit small.
Might be a bit
To be
small.
honest, even the bathroom, I wouldn't say it's really for an elderly person.
No,
it's not.
not at all.
No.
I think it's 900 mil. It's got to be. Are you going to remember?
Yeah.
The width of the axis.
I've just looked, obviously, a granny annex is supposed to be for a member of the household.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they're claiming, but that seems to be at odds with what neighbours are saying about it being an HMO, in which case it's actually a building being built to rent out.
Yeah.
So it really ought to be recognised as such, because there's Airbnb laws coming in
Yeah.
to tighten up rented property.
Yeah.
So I think we need perhaps raise a question of is this actually the home address of the applicant and the old parent is a member of their household, or is this actually I mean, it could be that they've finished with HMOs, they're going to clear them out, they're going to move in, and they need a special permit, which is
Yeah.
fine, but
We need to find a status of actually what's going on there. Yeah. So, we've got any proposals at all?
Well, proposed we object at the moment.
Yeah.
Can you just clarify what you're objecting to, please?
Well,
We need to know if it's still a HMO.
yeah.
Proposed use.
Pardon?
And
Proposed use.
Yeah, proposed use.
of the annex.
Yeah, and parking concerns.
Access concerns.
Yeah, access.
including the fire exit was mentioned earlier.
Yeah, sorry, fire exit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So we've got a proposal from Karen, seconded by Brother. Show of hands, please. It's Karen, thank you. Final applications number 3 is DC stroke 24 stroke 0727 stroke FUL.
Yeah.
And it's A, 1 dwelling, B, 2-storey side rear extension to existing dwelling. And that's Mr. Adrian Tichel, which is 54 Crowland Road. Shall I read out that?
Yeah.
Letter of objection.
Well, it was from Liz. Because she couldn't read it to me.
Oh, it's from Liz, isn't it? Would you be able to read that out?
I can do.
Yeah.
It's Councillor Liz Smith. I've not yet responded to the planning department who contacted me last week, but I will be saying the following. A couple of residents have contacted me about the building of this new dwelling, and I know that there are a number of neighbourhood responses against this. The residents I spoke to were concerned about the impact of construction traffic, as well as additional traffic, parking and development to a road that's already extremely busy and potentially dangerous. There is also a school located in the area, and it becomes particularly difficult to manoeuvre during school drop-off and pick-up times. There has been some significant development of late in this small area, and the road is heavily used to cut through avoiding traffic calming in Eastern Avenue. The property is also potentially overlooking number 56, unless the 2 windows on the side elevation can be obscured. There was also some concern about the density of the housing going forward and the lack of natural light getting through. Although I welcome new housing and potential low rental properties, I believe the residents need some relief from issues of the amount of traffic using this road before further development can take place.
Thank you. John?
No, I really don't. I mean, most of the comments, and I have updated this tonight, so you may see more than you maybe saw earlier on. A lot more added by planning today. Most of them are about traffic.
Yeah.
And the effect of other developments on the site that's causing them problems. I don't know why that's taken so long. Anyway, I haven't actually looked at, I haven't had a chance to have a look at the development, but, obviously parking has to be a consideration
Yeah.
for the site. I don't know whether there is it says parking here, I don't know where the pavement is in relation to that. Are they talking about the
this is
parking
space,
here?
Yes.
But then this is shared driveway, isn't it?
No, that's there. It's just serving the next door property.
That's serving that property.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's that property. What number is that? Do we know?
56.
56. So that's serving now.
50s.
So they're going to have to presumably drop down on that side.
Yes.
But I don't think highways will allow that slope now.
Well,
Like
they've
the modern
objected to it,
regulation.
they've objected and they've put a holding objection anyway. Councillor Roger?
I was going to say about the parking, there's ample space. If you look at the one next to it, there's ample space to park in front there. And if anything, it will improve the traffic situation because people won't park in front of the parking bays of the new property. In terms of the dimensions and everything, it's perfectly logical extension of the terrace to provide an end of the terrace house. The only problem I can see is the overlooking would be that can be dealt with by obscure windows or whatever.
Which is what's on the plan.
Obscure grazing.
Yeah. Yes, I think from the traffic point of view, it will actually be benefit to Haverhill Road to have cars not parking in front of that area.
Yeah, but I think what they're saying, from what I read of the residents' comments, is that they suffer. That must have been taken. That picture must have been taken at a quiet time because of an evening when everyone's home from work, etc. It's absolute chaos through there. They're actually asking if they can have it one way. You've got.
But that's not a material.
No, it's not for that. I'm just saying that just highlights the traffic issues.
I think it should be one way from my experience driving down it myself, but
Yeah.
I don't think this will make the traffic worse. If anything, it will improve it because
Well,
people won't park in front of the.
no, but that means existing residents will lose possibly 2 spaces because they're going to have a drop curb and driveway going into this new property. So it will actually. I know that the 2 cars or 3 cars that are associated with the new property will have somewhere to park, but it limits the existing residents' parking because they can park there now and they won't be able to because there'll be a drop curb and a driveway going in. So actually it will actually limit the existing residents' ability to park. So yeah, I'm not sure at all. And there's the other thing as well is that sideway, they've got right of way to the back of the houses around there, which they've said they're going to maintain, but at the moment it's restricted. When they build the new extension, it's just going to be a little alleyway. And there's people who said they've got things in the back to their garden that they will no longer be able to get out because it won't fit down through, the proposed alleyway. So, yeah. I have myself, got concerns, and also there is natural gaps between those little terraces, so it breaks up the skyline somewhat. So, and that's how it was planned. Always, myself think it's that was planned for how it was planned and nothing with natural light in between little blocks of terraces. If you fill them all in, it changes, the whole area. So I'm going to propose. I'm sorry, John.
No, just a couple of things. I'm not making a comment though because I haven't really read it. So things I've noticed. Colin just had a document up there. That one with that alleyway here. I guess this is what this is.
900 wide alleyway between the old
which is
and the
only just minimum
Yeah.
disabled wheelchair access to get through there.
Yeah.
But also there was another document, parking plan.
I can have a look for the parking.
I thought I saw a parking plan
No,
was
that's different. Don't look at the wrong ones.
No, I thought there was Yeah, there, roof and parking plan. I was just interested to see what, because this one, I think, if I'm rightly, am I right in thinking this is actually an extension to the existing building, or is it a completely separate building?
No, it's
also building.
Extension. At the end of the terrace, they own.
Yeah, they own this one,
Yeah,
and they're going here.
they've got tenants in that building, and they're
Yeah, I just-
building at the end of it,
Highways may well comment on this because they this is the one they've got a holding objection on,
yeah.
hasn't
That's
they?
it. Yeah. Because
I know that the new rules are about the slope of the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, we've got loads of places in town that have got big slopes, and I don't think they allow it these days because they say there has to be a certain number of metres
Yeah.
off the highway. So it'd be interesting to see what they come up with.
And if you look there, if they're driving in, it shows you in the actual drawing that they've driven in, so they can have to back out across the footpath
Yeah.
onto the road, which, that's a busy footpath there as well.
And they've got to get the 43 metres visibility.
Yeah,
line.
exactly.
Right.
So Suffolk County Council got a hold objection in for those reasons. Yeah. To be fair, for the reasons that I've stated, I'd like to propose objection under the support of what the Suffolk County Council Highways have said they're holding an objection, but also it exacerbates the already quite serious parking issues that are in that area. And I've got a lot of sympathy with the residents as well. They've got access down the side there that will have that restricted to 900 mil, where I think one of them said they've actually got a hot tub in the back, which they're now, if it has to be removed. If this gets built, they'll have to get a crane to get it out. So.
Proposals for
yeah.
a second.
Yeah, second. Show of hands, please.
How do you know? It's a minute time.
Item 7 is to consider street trading licence. We haven't done it, no. And then item 8, matters to report. We've got 2 appeals decisions with it. I've only seen one. One was rejected, wasn't it? Both were rejected.
Nathan's one was one, wasn't it?
Right, okay.
That was rejected.
Yeah.
And the other one was
Sent today. It was. Yeah, Hazel's today, and
Was
the
it
one up Bratton Road.
that's
Oh, yeah.
it, yeah, both of those were upheld, yeah, so.
Which was good.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, some news about the Vauxhall Garage, ex-Vauxhall Garage,
Yes.
you rephrase that. I did ask the question a couple of days ago and he came back to me today and said, finally they've got approval, I don't know how many months ago that it was that it came to the committee, finally got approval from West Suffolk for the demolition, which has already happened,
Yeah.
and also the new plans. And apparently it's been taking months to discuss with County Council flooding, which I find a bit strange, seeing as it's on top of a big mound, but anyway, that's, it's a bit strange. So they're hoping to get all the pre-start conditions done by the rest of this year and start early on in the new year on the construction,
That's
which will be
news.
good because I said to them it's been a bit of an eyesore.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be done, but it's still going to be the self-storage.
Yeah.
There's been people on site as well.
Yeah, they're doing all the looking at the pre-conditions.
Brilliant.
So from clarify this, if we're saying that they've completely changed what they're going to do, and it's not come back to planning for another
No, it has
decision.
been back. It came back months ago. Yeah, it came back months ago.
The demolition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we commented on that.
Yeah, it can be. It's just taking West Suffolk so long to do anything.
I wondered what
Happy, isn't it?
if
I thought they just abandoned it.
Yeah.
So did I.
You know, bit of information.
I thought it was having another vixen.
Yeah, they're quite happy to make that public as well. So
That's good. Anyone else with any matters to report? No.
sorry.
Right, date of the next meeting is Monday, the 4th of November, and close the meeting at